Are you ready to challenge your body's ability to balance in difficult yoga postures and transitions? Learning to move with your breath, quiet your mind, and connect your breathing to your body's movement is one of the key goals with any yoga practice. We use our legs for everything, so being able to find stability in difficult balancing postures while keeping your breathing relaxed and controlled has physical and mental benefits that reach far beyond the mat. So if you're ready for a challenge, please join me on the mat. Hi friends, I'm Chelsea with Ascend Your Asana Yoga. And for today's class, we're going to be using a strap. So if you have one, feel free to grab it. If you don't, you can also substitute a thin blanket or a towel as well. But we won't be using it until later, so please feel free to put it on the side. And we're just going to get started in the center of our mats in a mountain pose today. So gently close your eyes, take your feet hip distance apart, and allow your arms to relax by your sides. Palms open to the front, and just turn your attention inward. Feel gravity pulling you down through the heels and the balls of your feet. Try to find that center of gravity, maybe swaying your weight back and forth, trying to find what feels good. And allow your thoughts to turn to your breathing. And when you're ready, let's take a deep inhale in, arms up to the sky, and exhale down. One more deep inhale, arms up, and exhale, release down. One more deep inhale. This time, take that right foot and step it behind the left and stretch over to the left side. Really breathing life into that right side body. Exhale, release down. Step that left foot behind the right and stretch it over to the right. Take a deep inhale and exhale, release. Great job. Arms up once again. This time sweep the arms around and down and then back up. One deep circle, sweeping it over to the right and back up and down to the left. Cross over the body and bring it back up. Sweep it faster as you come down and slower as you come up, allowing that lower body to release and feeling that stretch through the side body. Now switch directions, dropping over to the right, sweeping across and coming back up on the left side. Faster as you go down and slower as you come up. Sweep it down and back up. Allow gravity to just kind of pull your body down. And then back up. Release your hands. Excellent job. We're going to step to the front of our mat for a sun salutation B. So deep inhale, arms up to the sky, stretch it high. Exhale, sink into chair pose, spine long. Release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step or jump into chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog. And then exhale, send those hips back into downward facing dog. Excellent job. Let's step that right foot forward, drop that left heel. Inhale up into warrior one. Exhale, release back down. Send that right leg back. Shift your weight forward, chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Ground through that right foot, step that left foot up. Drop that right heel, inhale up, warrior one, nice and strong. Exhale, release, step that left leg back, chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog, and exhale into downward facing dog. Shift your gaze in between the fingers and jump or step forward. Inhale into halfway lift, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, let's rise up into chair pose, set those hips back, and let's just sweep our hands behind the body, coming onto the toes. Exhale, send it back into chair. Inhale, sweep our weight forward, coming onto the toes. And exhale, sink our weight back. Inhale, sweep those arms beside the body, high on the toes, and release. Let's do one more. Sweep our arms beside, come onto those toes, and release back down. Excellent job. Rise back up to mountain. Inhale, arms up to the sky, and exhale, palms at heart's center. We're going to come into tree pose now, so bring that left foot on the inner thigh of the right leg, or you can drop it to the inner shin, whichever is a little more comfortable for you. And keeping those palms at heart center, we're going to try to find our balance. Maybe you use your left arm to guide that left knee open just a little bit wider, really opening up through that hip. And then we're going to cross that left leg around the right, those eagle legs. Straighten the left arm, cross that right arm over the left, bend both elbows, and bring the palms together into this nice eagle pose. Sink those hips back and really try to balance on that right leg. Pulling those elbows up so they're in line with your shoulders, and breathe through this pose. Excellent job. Let's release our legs, keeping our arms crossed, and send it into this modified warrior 3. Left leg long behind the body, and see if we can slightly bend that right leg just for a couple little dips here, maintaining our balance and breathing through this exercise. Let's do a dip, and let's do 2 more. Pulse and pulse. Now release our arms, drop that left arm to the mat, take that right arm high, this revolved half moon pose. Hold here before dropping that left leg, revolved warrior 2. Excellent job. Strong right leg here, and sweep it over into our regular warrior 2. Gaze over those right fingertips. Nice and strong stance here. Flip that grip, reverse warrior. Breathe, nice strong stretch through that right side body, and release, coming into side angle pose here. Really breathe life into that left side body now. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Let's bind those arms underneath that right leg. Crossing our hands behind the body, breathing through this posture. And let's release, this time sweeping it over to the left in this low lateral lunge. Palms at heart center, flexing that right foot if you can, and dropping to our booty. Let's stretch our left arm up and over the body, over to that right foot. Really breathing life into that left side body here. Deep inhale and exhale. Wonderful. Let's drop that left knee to the mat and sweep it over into this half wild thing pose. So that right leg is extended, sweeping our weight over. And now we're going to come into a side plank. Left leg hovers, right arm is to the ceiling. Hold it here, pushing those hips away before dropping our hands to the mat, dropping that foot, and stretching it into this modified downward facing dog. Excellent job. So left leg is stretched underneath the body here. And we can release, stepping that left leg in between the hands and stretching it into this runner's lunge. Use your right foot to sway your weight back and forth, so pulling that heel in and then stretching it back. Shifting our weight. Now use your left arm to open up through that left hip, pushing that left knee out and away from the body before releasing up into this high crescent lunge. Straighten that left leg and exhale, cactus those arms, opening up through the heart, and release back up. Exhale, sink back down, opening up through the heart, and release, straightening that left leg, and sink back down. Slight back bend here before releasing back up. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Last one. Goddess those arms. This time release your hands, clasping them behind the back, pulling that heart open just a bit and pulsing that leg. So pulse, 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 pulse. You'll feel that left leg burning. Keep pulsing and then pop up and sink down into this modified pyramid pose. Keeping those hands clasped behind the back. See if you can pull them forward up towards the ceiling. As you breathe into that left leg and pop up, we're going to come into a modified standing split if you can. Open up, stretching that right leg behind the body. Finding that balance through that left leg before releasing. That's a tough one, so great job. Now we're going to come into that tree pose on the other side right away. So palms at heart center, right foot to the inner left thigh. Excellent job. Let's reconnect with our breath here. Use that right arm to guide that right knee open just a bit wider, opening up through that hip. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Excellent job. And let's release. We're crossing that right leg over the left now for those eagle legs. Left arm crosses over the right. Bend those elbows and bring those palms together. Now set those hips, sink them back towards the mat as though you're trying to sit on a chair. Pulling those elbows up, shoulder level, spine nice and long and core engaged. Now release that right leg behind the body in this modified warrior 3. Arms are still in eagle pose. We're going to start those pulses again. So pulse that left leg back up, pulse, pulse. Trying to keep that right leg high behind the body if you can. A couple more now. Let's pulse and pulse. Great job. Drop that right hand to the mat and stretch that left arm up to the ceiling in this revolved half moon pose. Core engaged here. Let's drop that right leg. Come up into this reverse warrior 2. And let's flip our grip and come into our regular warrior 2. Gaze over those left fingertips. Flip those hands, revolved warrior. Deep inhale. And exhale, return to center. Now flip that right hand and stretch it overhead. Excellent job. And we're going to take that bind, so wrap those arms around that left leg and bind them behind the body if you can. And release, sweeping over to the right side, flexing that left foot if you can, palms at heart center. And a drop to the mat. We're going to stretch our right arm overhead, stretching it over to those left toes. Take a deep inhale. And if you can't stretch it over the body, you can always just stretch them a normal forward fold to your toes as much as you can. And let's release now. This time dropping that right knee to the mat and coming into this half wild thing pose. Left arm stretches up and over, deep inhale. And exhale. Let's come up into that side plank. Right leg hovers underneath. Left arm to the sky. And drop our hands to the mat. Drop that right foot and send it into this modified downward facing dog, really stretching through that IT band. Before releasing, dropping that right foot to the outer edges of the arms and coming into this runner's lunge. Using that left foot to rock yourself back and forth, really feeling a stretch through those hip flexor muscles. Swing forward and back. Now when you're ready, we're going to come up into that high crescent lunge once again. Straighten that right leg and then cactus those arms as you lunge back down. Arms up, nice strong goddess arms. Rise up and then bend that knee, squeezing those shoulder blades, opening up through the heart. Take a deep inhale, exhale as you raise. Inhale as you squeeze those shoulder blades together. Now clasp those hands behind your back and let's do those pulses again. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Excellent job. Couple more. And let's see if we can pop up, straighten out that right leg and sink into this pyramid pose. Hands still clasped behind the back, pulling that heart open. Deep inhale and exhale. Let's pop up onto that right foot. Bring that left leg long behind the body and balance on that right leg. Nice bend in that front leg if you need it. Hold here before releasing, stepping back. Swing your weight forward, chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog. And then exhale into downward facing dog. Excellent job. Let's take a moment to reconnect with our breath here. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Now ground through that left foot and inhale that right leg back before pulling it forward, dropping that left heel, rising up and sinking into warrior two. Let's flip that grip, revolved warrior. Deep inhale and exhale, return to center. Let's do that extended side angle pose now. Getting a nice stretch through that left side body before coming into our bind again. We're going to hold here and breathe. And you are welcome to stay in this pose, or if you'd like, you can hop that left leg in and come up into this bird of paradise posture, seeing if you can extend that right leg if you can. Point those toes, keeping your hands bound behind that leg before releasing. And we're going to come right into a one-legged chair pose, palms at heart center. And we're going to sink our hips down as though we were sitting in a chair. If you'd like, you can take a twist here, twisting over to the right side. So bringing that left elbow closer to that right knee. Really trying to balance here. Maintain your focus on your breathing and where that weight is sitting in that leg. And you can release. We're going to face the back of our mats and come into that eagle pose again. So wrap that right leg around the left, eagle pose those arms, and sink down into this posture. And we're going to slowly bow, humble eagle, bringing our elbows to our knees. And untwist that right leg, step it back, keeping those eagle arms. We're going to stay in this humble lunge here, just a moment, before releasing into pyramid posture. So release your arms, outstretch that left leg, take a deep inhale, and exhale, sink into that left leg just a little deeper. And then when you're ready, walk your hands forward in this nice wide-legged forward fold. Deep inhale and then exhale. Allow your head to hang heavy and maybe clasp those elbows with your hands and sway back and forth. Allow your spine to decompress and just gently sway your weight, feeling that stretch and that gentle pressure through the hamstrings as you sway back and forth. And now sink your weight over to one leg and then the other. We're just going to do gentle lateral lunge rocks here. So rock over to that left leg, outstretch those right toes, and then over to the right, really flexing that left foot. Feeling that stretch through the hamstrings again. Now walk your hands over to the left foot and outstretch that right hand to the ceiling. Deep inhale and exhale. Right hand goes to left ankle, left arm comes up to the sky. Deep inhale again before releasing. Excellent job. Let's step our feet back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog, and exhale, send your hips back into downward facing dog. Now let's ground through that right foot as we inhale our left leg back and step it forward, coming up into warrior two again. Gaze over those left fingertips. Nice strong left leg. Let's flip that grip and come into revolved warrior two. Deep stretch through that left side body before returning to center. Flipping that right palm now and stretching it over into this extended side angle pose. Now we're going to take that bind once again, wrapping our arms around that left leg. You're welcome to stay in this posture, or you can join us in attempting Bird of Paradise. Pop that right leg in, see if you can balance and lift up. You can feel free to hop around if you need to, and maybe you can extend that left leg, pointing those toes. You'll notice it's probably easier with one leg over the other. My right leg, it was a lot easier than my left. And we're only staying a moment. Put those palms at heart center and come into this one-legged chair. Sinking our hips down, feeling that stretch through the IT band. And you're welcome to take that twist over to the left side at this time. Strong right leg, once again, maintaining your focus here. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, feel free to release. Walk over to the front of your mat. We're going to come into that eagle pose, so wrap that left leg around the right. And twist those arms together, pulling those elbows up to shoulder level and sinking those hips down. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, let's come into that humble eagle pose. Elbows come to knees, still balancing on that right foot. Excellent job. And we're going to untwist our legs at this time, step that left leg back, and come into this humble lunge again. Holding here, strong right leg. Great job. And then we can release, straighten out that front leg, drop that back heel, and sink into that right leg. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, let's release down. Coming into this half cow face posture, stacking our knees, left leg on the bottom, right leg on top, stack that right knee over the left, and let's exhale over to the left side. Take a deep inhale up and stretch it over to the right now, and deep exhale as you sink a little bit. Nice stretch through that left side body. And release, grab those hands behind your back, open up the chest and sink forward. Pulling those hands up towards the ceiling, you'll really feel this stretch in your hips. And allow yourself to release. Head hanging heavy. Let's release back up. We're going to switch our legs now. This time, right leg on the bottom, left leg crossover top. Line up those knees, stretch it over to the right first this time. Deep breath through that left side body. Exhale. And now over to the left. Breathe into those ribs. And release, clasp those hands behind, open up that heart, and allow yourself to sink forward. Head hanging heavy, only go as low as feels comfortable for you. Pulling those arms up towards the ceiling, and breathe. Excellent. Let's release back up at this time. And we're going to come into a lying posture on our back. So first, let's grab that strap if you have one, or if you have a towel or a blanket, feel free to grab that as well. We're going to gently guide ourselves onto our backs and do a couple of exercises to help loosen up those hamstrings. So flex those feet at the top and point them down. We're bringing our legs up to a 90 degree. Flex those toes and point them on the way down. Flex the foot at the top, so a flat foot. Point the toes and drop them. This is really flossing the nerves in the back of the legs. This can help with flexibility, range of motion, and any irritated nerves that you might have. Because we sometimes forget that our legs and our pelvis and our lower back, they're all connected. So this is just to help range of motion and flexibility. Now we can grab that strap or towel or blanket if you have one and place it around the balls of your feet. And we're going to place them more towards our heel, and we're just going to do a nice stretch. So use your strap or blanket to pull those legs over the body if you can. Nice micro bend in those legs. And just breathe into this stretch. And when you're ready, gently just floss that strap back and forth along the bottom of your feet. This can kind of help release any of the muscles in the lower back and in the legs. Like I said, they're all connected, so it can just really feel good. So floss that back and forth, just nice and gentle. And see if you notice your legs feeling a little bit more flexible, like you can pull them a little over your body just a bit more. It just feels really good, a nice massage for the feet. And we're going to release our right leg now. And you can either put a little loop at the end of your strap, or you can just hold it tight over that left foot. We're going to put it over that left foot, straighten out that right leg, and stretch that left leg straight over to the right side. So feel free to give yourself a little more room if you need to. This will really give you a nice stretch in that left IT band. So keeping that left leg straight, allow it to fold over to the right side. And then switch it open and open up that hip now, keeping that leg straight over to the left. Take a deep inhale here. Allow gravity to pull that leg down, that leg open just a bit. And then we're going to release that strap and we're going to put it over the right foot now. So feel free to extend that left leg long, and just like we did with the left, bring that right leg over to the left side. Keeping that leg straight. We're just going to breathe here. Nice stretch through the right IT band. Pulling it up if you can, just a bit. And release. This time we're going to open it over to the right. So opening up that hip now. Keeping tension on that strap or blanket. And just holding it there. Feel free to give yourself a little more room if you're in a tight space. Maybe wiggling over to one side. Just breathing into that leg. Excellent job. Now you can release that strap from your foot and just place it over to the side. And we're going to just gently relax now. So see if you can pull your knees into your armpits. Grab the outer edges of your feet in this happy baby pose. And allow yourself a gentle spinal rock. Allowing your breathing to kind of return to normal. Finding stillness within the body. Just gently rocking back and forth. Now if you're ready, you can release those feet, this time just grabbing your knees and tucking them in towards your chest. Continue those gentle spinal rocks. Allow your head to feel heavy, your eyelids to soften. And when you're ready, you can extend those legs and prepare yourself for Shavasana. Allow yourself to get comfortable. Shoulders down and back. Allow your ankles to soften and hang heavy. Your fists and hands to relax. Allow your forehead and your jaw to soften. And just do a quick scan of your body. Take note of where you're feeling any areas that may be holding on to tension. And just breathe a little bit of oxygen into those areas. And then a nice exhale out. Allow yourself to turn inward and lose track of your thoughts. Just allow this stillness to take over. Thank you so much for joining me for today's practice. If you enjoyed this class, please like this video and subscribe for more content. See you next time.